Before we begin, viewers, happy Father's Day to all you dads that are watching. Thank you for sparing a little time out of your schedule to come watch me for more true horror stories. This one's a meaty one just for you all, and as a dad myself, cheers. So please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for me, please. Thanks. Now on with the hefty video. I'm not sure how to start this, except to say that if something ever happens to me, check the crawl space behind the nursery wall. My name is Aaron. I'm 29. I'm a school teacher and a single mom to my son, Jamie. He just turned 5 last month. He's funny, sensitive, and smart as hell, already drawing things most kids his age can't even explain. That's what this is about, his drawings, and what he remembered. Jamie's father, Tom, died in a car crash 2 years ago. At least, that's what I was told. We weren't together when it happened. Tom was a complicated man, intense, paranoid. He believed in all sorts of things. Shadow governments, parallel dimensions, numbers that meant things. When he was calm, he could be sweet, charming, even. But then he'd spiral, go on these rants for hours, whispering about how they were watching us from inside the house. Not cameras, them. When Jamie was 3, I made the hardest choice of my life and left. I moved states, changed my number, filed a restraining order, and then a few months later I got the call. Tom had been in a single vehicle crash. The car had caught fire. Dental records confirmed it was him. I cried for Jamie more than I cried for myself. The drawing started last November. It was a Tuesday. Jamie came home from preschool with a picture he said he drew during quiet time. Most kids draw dogs or houses. Jamie drew our living room, down to the books on the shelf and the rug pattern. It was incredibly detailed, except there was a shape in the wall. I asked him what it was, and he said, "That's where Daddy hides when he watches us." I laughed at first. Kids say weird things, but something about the way he said it, so calmly, stuck with me. "Jamie, sweetheart, you remember that Daddy went to heaven, right?" He just stared at me. "Not the outside Daddy," he said. "The one who stayed. The quiet one." That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what he said. I ended up digging the drawing out of the trash just to look at it again. That's when I noticed something I hadn't seen before. There were eyes behind the wall, faintly shaded, like something was staring out. I convinced myself it was a coincidence, a creepy thing from a kid's imagination. That is, until the scratching started. It was faint, just a rustle, like an animal, behind the nursery wall. I figured maybe a mouse had gotten in. We lived in a rented house, old. Things creaked. I called pest control the next day. They came, looked through the crawl space, and told me they didn't see any sign of infestation. Could be in the ducts, the guy told me, but nothing back there. Still, every night for the next week, the scratching continued. Then, whispering, not words, just the impression of sound, like someone talking through cotton. I thought I was losing my mind. Then Jamie brought home another drawing. This time it was a picture of him sleeping in his bed, but there was a long, thin shadow standing over him, with arms that dragged along the floor. The arms had fingers, and the fingers had eyes on them. When I asked him what it was, he said, "It's Daddy. He's lonely." I started to panic. I didn't want to scare him, but I couldn't ignore it anymore. That night, after Jamie went to bed, I searched the nursery wall with a flashlight. I tapped for hollow spots. Near the closet, I found one. I pried it open. Behind the drywall was a gap, about 3 feet deep. A crawl space I didn't know existed. There were blankets inside, food wrappers, and drawings, hundreds of drawings, all done in a child's hand. But some of them weren't Jamie's. The paper was older, yellowed. Some of them were mine. I remember drawing them. I remember living in a house like this when I was a kid, and suddenly I remembered something I hadn't thought about in 20 years. My father used to say the same thing, that people lived in the walls, that he could hear them whispering about him. He disappeared when I was 6. No trace. They said he walked out one night and never came back. I thought he'd abandoned us. I didn't realize we were living in the same layout, the same blueprint. It hit me like ice down my spine. What if it wasn't a coincidence? What if it wasn't Tom watching us? What if it was my father? I brought in a friend who works in renovations. Told him I thought there might be mold or asbestos behind the wall. When he cut through, we found a false back panel. Behind that was a narrow tunnel, old, dusty, and filled with bones of small animals, crumpled paper, pieces of clothing, and in the back, a small mattress, a notebook. I read the first page. He's not gone. He's never gone. He's the sound in the vents, the shape behind your dreams, the part of you that never left. I tried to trap him here. I failed. The handwriting was shaky, barely legible, but I recognized it. It was my father's. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't let Jamie sleep in his room either. The next day I moved us out. Didn't wait for a refund. I just ran. We're living with my sister now. Jamie seems happier. His drawings are full of color again. But last night he handed me a new one. A birthday card he made for me early. On the front was a picture of a house with a smiling sun and flowers. On the back, in shaky red crayon, he'd written, "He found us again." It's been 4 months since Jamie gave me that drawing. The one with the flowers, the smiling sun, and the words scrawled in shaky red crayon on the back. He found us again. We moved in with my sister, Rachel, the day after I discovered the crawl space. I told her it was mold, asbestos, whatever I had to say to avoid sounding insane. She took us in. Her home is new, clean, open, no crawl spaces, no dark corners. I thought we were safe. Then the drawing started again. Not at first. The first month was quiet. Jamie played outside, laughed more, even slept in his own bed. But in mid-March, I found a drawing folded into his pillowcase. It was our new house, but the lines were all wrong, crooked, frantic, like something had drawn them while shaking, and there was a hole in the wall. Not physically, not in the actual room, but in the picture, same as before. Black scribble, a shape crouched behind it, long fingers, watching. I asked Jamie where he saw it. He just whispered, "In the mirror." Since then, mirrors have been wrong. I'll pass them and catch glimpses that don't make sense, like someone just stepped out of frame, or my reflection lagging behind, just a little, enough to make me stop cold. And then came the knocking. Not loud, just a soft, rhythmic tap, tap, tap from behind the closet door in Jamie's room. At first I thought it was him playing, or maybe a pipe. But one night I heard it while he was asleep on the couch next to me. 3 taps, a pause, then 2 more, like a pattern. The worst part, it was familiar, too familiar. When I was 5, before my father disappeared, he used to tell me he could talk to the walls. I thought it was a game. He taught me a knock pattern, 3 short, 2 long. I tried it. Just once, 3 knocks. Pause. 2 more. Silence. Then, knock, 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 knock. Something was in there. Something that remembered. That same night, Jamie woke up screaming. He said there was a man in the hallway, that he crawled on all 4s like a spider, but his head turned all the way around. That he whispered something to him. I asked what he said. Jamie hesitated, then looked at me with a face that didn't seem like his anymore. Flat, empty-eyed. He said the rest of Daddy is inside you. I vomited. Something is wrong with me now. It's like I'm remembering things I never lived. Dreams of tunnels. Of a man with no face, only lines carved where eyes should be. And in every dream, there's a voice whispering that I left the door open. Sometimes when I look at Jamie, I don't see my son. Not entirely. Sometimes his smile is too wide. Sometimes his drawings feel predictive. 2 nights ago, I found a new one in my sock drawer. It wasn't drawn by a child. The lines were surgical, black ink. The paper was water damaged like it had been buried. It showed me, sleeping, with something leaning over the bed. A man made of shadows, splitting open, revealing dozens of eyes inside. And behind it all, above my bed, was a word written in red. Remember. Last night I started digging into old property records. I traced the blueprint of our previous house. It turns out it was a replica, one of several government-issued modular homes built in the 1970s in a failed suburban experiment. They were meant to be mass-produced, easily replaceable. My childhood home, the one Tom and I lived in, the one Jamie and I fled from, all of them are nearly identical, and all of them have a false wall in the same spot. Behind it, space that doesn't show up on blueprints, a place to hide, or something to be kept in. I finally broke down and showed my sister everything. The drawings, the notebook, the tunnels, even the recording I made of the knocks. She didn't laugh, she cried. She told me something I didn't know. Our father had a twin, a stillborn brother. Our grandmother never spoke of it, but in her last days, she rambled about the other one and how it came through him, how one left the womb and one stayed behind, beneath the skin of the world. Something passed down, not a ghost, not a man, a thing that rides bloodlines, that lives behind walls and between moments. I think my father tried to trap it. I think he failed. Now it wants to be born again. And Jamie is his blood too. Today is Father's Day. Jamie woke up early. He gave me a card, crayon, bright colors, big smile. I almost let myself believe it was normal. But when I opened it, the inside was blank, except for one sentence. He's in your room now. I dropped the card, walked down the hall. My bedroom door was open. Inside, every mirror had been turned to face the bed, and on the glass, written in condensation, were 5 words: let him finish the birth. I don't know where to start anymore. I can't tell if I am writing this as a warning or a confession, maybe both. If you've read what's happened so far, the drawings, the knockings, the crawl space, the thing behind the walls, you already know this isn't some haunting. It's inheritance. After I found the mirrors in my room turned toward the bed, after I saw those 5 words written in the condensation, let him finish the birth, I should have run, but I didn't. I told myself it was a prank, a cruel coincidence. anything but what it actually was. That night, I had the dream again. But this time, it wasn't a dream. I was walking down a hallway that never ended. The walls pulsed like they were alive, breathing with me. Every few feet, a door appeared. Behind each door was a version of myself. Older, younger, pregnant, bloodied, blank-eyed. One of them opened her mouth, and my father's voice came out. "He was never in the walls, Aaron. He's in you." I woke up screaming. Jamie wasn't beside me. I found him in the kitchen, standing in the corner, drawing something feverishly. Paper after paper scattered across the floor. All the same image, a door, cracked open, with something black spilling through it like liquid shadow. I picked one up and flipped it over. On the back, in careful block letters, Jamie had written, "Help me close it." That was the moment I stopped lying to myself. I took every drawing, every page from the old notebook. I read them over and over. My father hadn't been delusional. He was trying to contain it. Whatever this thing is, it's been riding our bloodline for decades, maybe longer. Passed down like a parasite, a consciousness, maybe, or something worse, a twin that never left the womb. Tom, Jamie's dad, he felt it too. That's why he grew so paranoid. That's why he burned down our old shed. Why he started sealing vents and mirrors. He thought it was waking up in him, but it never fully took him. It just watched. It's me. I'm the open door, and Jamie is next. So I made a choice. I brought Jamie back to the old house. The one with the false wall. It had been condemned, but I still had the keys. The crawl space hadn't been sealed. I put him to sleep in the living room with headphones on and a flashlight. Then I went to the wall. It was exactly as I remembered. Cold, slightly damp, still breathing. I knocked once, the pattern my father taught me. Knock, 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 knock. From the other side came the same rhythm, then silence, then a voice, so low it made my bones ache. "You were born open, child. Let us finish." I didn't respond. I opened the wall. Inside, it was darker than it should have been. I stepped through. It was like slipping into ink. The light from my flashlight barely reached inches ahead. And then I saw him. The faces, hundreds of them, stretched into the walls. My father, Tom, others I didn't recognize, all stitched into the dark, whispering one word over and over. Close. It, close. It, close. It, and in the center, pulsing like a heart, was the twin. It had no form. It shifted constantly. Sometimes a man, sometimes a child, sometimes me. It reached out with 1,000 fingers made of shadow and teeth, and whispered, "I only ever wanted to be born." That's when I understood what my father had tried to do. He hadn't run away. He'd gone in, to close it from the inside. I grabbed the last thing he ever gave me, a small rusted hammer he kept hidden in a box labeled for Aaron when it's time. Inside it, there was a nail, hand-forged, old, black as night. I held it to the wall. The voices screamed. The faces twisted. The crawl space began to collapse. The twin shrieked, a sound that had no end, and I drove the nail into the wall. I don't remember what happened after that. I woke up 2 days later in a hospital bed. Jamie was safe. No drawings, no voices, no shadows. The house had collapsed in on itself, they told me. No one could explain how or why. Fire, termites, sinkhole, all guesses. But I knew I had closed it, mostly. Jamie's 7 now, bright, creative, happy. But every year on Father's Day, he brings me a card. He draws the same picture every time. A woman, hammer in hand, standing in front of a sealed door. Behind the door, Red eyes. This year's card said something new. He thanks you for the name. And when I asked Jamie what that meant, he shrugged. I don't know. He just whispers it sometimes, from the corners of the ceiling. The name he gave me before I was born. I smiled, but I haven't slept since. Because the name on the card wasn't Jamie. It was mine. Before I end this video, I want to take a moment and say to all the dads, you're loved and appreciated no matter what. I don't care what anyone says. You folks are the backbone of society, and without you we wouldn't be here today. I might struggle with this myself, but love yourself. No matter what, the trauma is tough and hurts like a lot, but things either get better or steady within the years to come. Things have to work out, 'cause all good things and bad things must come to an end eventually. And listen, gentlemen, if anything, I will lend a listening ear or advice in the comments. Now yes, I might be younger than most of my viewers who watch me, which I've checked, but even us youngsters know a thing or two as well, and would be worth listening into, but I digress. You guys are heroes, and remember, we're all in this together. Well, enough sappiness from me. It's best I get a move on to my next video, which should be about Juneteenth. But now, as I always say, my viewers, and dads say it with me, now we're always watching.